Welcome to the Take It Home podcast, the podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at DocSimmons17. I'm joined tonight by the usual two guys who are good looking. I'll give the hot tag to my partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And of course, look up your mama's favorite shooters at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, or Country Air Brand on Twitter. And I'll pass it off to the highly recommended senior official.
What's up, guys? Referee Perch here. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles. How was the breakfast this week, fellas?
I went right back to the same diner I went to the previous week. Max Diner in Chicago. Hit it up last week for a little bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin, 2 pancakes. I went back this time around. I got the same order, just 1 pancake. Damn good. Loved it. Phenomenal. Max Diner in Chicago. Max. 2 for 2. I may hit it up this weekend too if it works out.
Triple crown. Zach, what did you have?
I had some of my frozen cinnamon waffles. Frozen. I still haven't decided to take it to try it out warmed up. One day I'm going to. I feel like I just have to make that commitment. I want
it's a big step. It's a big step.
I know. It's one of those where it's like I don't know if I can commit. I really like the frozen taste. And what if I like it more? Then there goes my whole frozen taste.
Yeah.
But no, Val had some good breakfast. So I saw her. She had a big old waffle this morning, actually.
Oh, lucky her.
She's representing the brand.
Me, myself, I had some sausage biscuits this weekend that were very delicious. Hit the spot. Girl made those on Sunday, I believe. And I think Saturday I had me a nice bowl of Apple Jacks. Been going back to the cereal. It was Cinnamon Toast Crunch the week before. Apple Jacks this week. Very satisfied. And the only thing that can satisfy me more is a banger of the week. Perch, what you got?
Ooh, this week's banger of the week. It's been a fun week. It's been a winter week. Some old tunes have been coming back. Some good rock music, some good country, some good rap, a little bit of everything. This week, one came up from like one of my original CDs from way back, 2003 era, and it was some Blink 182. I Miss You.
Good
tune. Late night, winter time, driving. Bang.
Were we talking about Blink 182 last week? I feel like this, or maybe I was having a conversation with somebody else.
I think it was me. I thought you told me you were on a Blink 182 kick, or you're on.
It might have been. It might have been us because I have been on a Blink 182 kick, and I have listened to that recently, and damn, that's a banger.
Yeah, that's one that's withstood the test of time. Definitely, friends and brother had their CDs, so they had a bunch of tunes that would always be rocked. But finding that song on the downloading music era and putting it onto a CD back in the day, yeah, that one I've always loved.
Back in the LimeWire days.
Yeah.
Give my computer aid so I can bang out this Blink 182.
Yep. That was a damn good tune right there. So that was definitely banger of the week this week.
Nice. All right, fellas, why don't we move on into what we watched this week? And you know what, Perch, I'll kick it back to you.
Yeah, watching this week, a little Jon Moxley against Hangman Adam Page. Damn good match to start off Dynamite. Holy smokes. Yep. They wasted little time getting to the ring, and they were beasting from the start. Knowing Moxley has that clothesline that can take someone's head off. But knowing that Adam Page is coming back guns blazing, he's got to come back. to get right back to where he was. Unbelievable match. Loved it. Good old-fashioned pro wrestling from bell to bell. Great storytelling, and the right man won. It was a great movie or episode or journey, whatever you want to call it. I call it pro wrestling, and that was awesome pro wrestling. I loved it. That Danielson match midway through, about as good as it gets against Takeshita. Hell of a style. Both those guys going at it. That was just a fun match to watch, not knowing what way it was going to go. Having a feeling Danielson's going to win with, his story that's going on. He has to win to get back at MJF. But realizing Takeshita, like, dude could win at any second. They could pull one over.
He's got the crowd super behind him.
So good, too. Precise and direct. Really love it. And then that main event, ladder match, was incredible. I like the way Pac waited to hit Kenny O on the hand with that hammer. He just waited for the right moment, and doink, hits him right on the hand. And by the time Kenny grabbed him, he was like a one-winged angel. It was definitely part of the storytelling that was going on in there, and I loved every second of it. Great match, awesome action. The Dynamite episode was good, and Rampage was just as good. For a Rampage episode, they crammed a lot of good action in an hour. And Juice Robinson against Darby Allin, great match. I really enjoyed that.
I feel like they've been kicking it up on Rampage lately.
Yeah, and I like being able to catch it, whether it's live on Friday or catch it Saturday morning. Yeah, they're putting on good matches. And that banger main event with the women's street fight.
Yep.
Ty and Anna against Willow and Ruby.
Ruby, yeah.
Yeah, hard hitting.
Girls are murdering each other.
Yeah, they used everything but the kitchen sink in that one.
Power bomb off the goddamn ramp.
Oh, gnarly. Gnarly.
Not me, bro. I'll take my fall.
Yeah, not today, not me, not no.
Yeah, I'll just take my fall off the ladder.
But yeah, some great wrestling all around. I really enjoyed.
Hell yeah.
And SmackDown was pretty good too. Watched it with it was in Green Bay. Braun Strowman against Walter Gunther in the opening match. Holy smokes, dude! Those guys went at it. Opened with a banger. Thought for sure Strowman was gonna win. I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but good episode of SmackDown. And in the main event with Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens, like, that's straight up Wisconsin's gonna appreciate that. It's a match that they've taken all across the entire world. Those guys know how to pro wrestle. Really enjoyed. Yeah, good week of wrestling.
Hell yeah. And Zach, what have you watched this week?
I've been I had Peacock on. Valve got me onto that. And they have the WWE channel, so I watched plenty of Royal Rumbles. So I'm becoming an expert, getting trained up for the Royal Rumble party. Even though you just randomly draw a number to win this bet, I gotta make sure my number I get drawn right. So doing that educational study. Yeah, there's no way, it's all luck. No, just kidding. No, but no, a lot of Royal Rumbles. The one I just recently watched was the one where on the pre-show, someone's favorite tag team won a tag title. It was when the New Age Outlaws came back and finally they won the WWE belts back after not being in WWE for 15 plus years. Dude, I remember
detail.
I remember when they were challenging for those belts. I was just kind of they're Hall of Famers. They're the Hall of Fame kind of guys. They're not going to put a belt on them. Then they won the belts. I was like, oh shit, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are tag team champions in 2013 or 14, I think. I'm like, this is pretty awesome. And I'm like, they're not going to have a long run though. And they got a pretty decent run. I was
yeah, they did get a decent run out of that one.
It was like, when remember when Bret Hart won the United States title? It was like super cool, but like Bret's also like, hey, I'm Bret Hart and I'm really broken. My body hurts. Like,
Yeah.
vacate this belt. I thought it was gonna be like, hey, they won the belt Sunday, they lose the belts like Monday or something. But no, they had like a really good, decent run. So very cool about that. Besides Royal Rumbles, more New Age Outlaws because me and Val watched Raw 25. She put that on. Dude, I forgot how long that show was.
Yeah, that was
What?
not short.
And I legit thought Kevin Nash was there for some reason, but they didn't because I thought like they like had the nostalgic thing that no, like I don't know if people pay attention to, but they had the NWO, DX, and Bullet Club all in one ring doing Too Sweet together, which I thought was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then like back then it was the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Like it just seems weird to call him that now. I'm so that was used to Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Like when I heard Scott Dawson, like who the hell is Scott Dawson? I was like, and then like and Dash Wilder.
Identify
I'm like, oh
yourself.
wait, yeah, it's their old names.
Yep. We've come a long way from 2015, 2016.
Yeah, dude. And like I just like saw I'm watching a little bit of Raw on my phone. I saw the announcement for the Rumble. I won't say if you guys didn't do it, but my opinion should have been a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and then I saw, and like this was sparked my memory that I watched Raw 25. Raw 30 is about to come up.
Oh God.
And like, yeah, the Usos announced that every member of every generation of the bloodline will be there for Raw 30.
What's the date on that?
I don't know, man.
Because
Like,
that seems like a perfect time for The Rock to make a challenge to Roman, doesn't it?
that's what I was saying. Like,
Certainly seems that way.
Raw XXX date. This doesn't work. I should put Raw 30
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's not, I don't think that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, it's like I looked up the Bang Bros the other day.
Bang Bros or Banger Bros?
I put Bang Bros and like it was not who we were expecting. I don't pay I don't know if the Bang Bros pay attention to my name. It says Outlaw, so I don't do what you tell me to do, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's saying January 23rd,
No, that's
which is conveniently the Raw before the Royal Rumble.
mm.
Hmm.
Fantasy.
I know this is yeah, but see, I actually did some wrestling watching this week, guys, and got some mind stirring with Doc right now. I see that at least I see Doc the wheels are turning. Perch, everyone knows Perch calls it straight down the middle. You can't tell what he's thinking.
Yeah, Perch is the stoic one on the podcast. Me myself, yes, I also watched that Dynamite, and yeah, I love that match between Moxley and Page. Did not go the way I thought it was going to go, but I'm happy it went that way. Yeah, Danielson Takeshita was a strong way to start off 2023, which we'll get into in a little bit. I watched a lot of TLC matches to get ready for ours. So I watched TLC 1 and 2. I watched the three-way between New Day, Lucha Dragons, and the Usos. So yeah, a lot of TLC, and been catching up on some Coastal Championship Wrestling. For those who don't know, we were announced for the November 11th show, so I had to make sure I'm
February.
Oh yeah, February. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said November.
Oh, it's in November, bro. We're time traveling. We're really
Hey,
prepping for the
Nelly will
show.
be putting out them shows deep on them shows. Yeah, February 11th. So watched a couple of the Crown. That's their tag team champions right now. Had to watch a couple of the TSF, our homies down south matches.
Yeah, get well soon, Grillo.
Yep, get well soon, Grillo. That boy is always hurt. Please stop doing that. We'd like to fight you again.
Like for those who don't know who TSF is, bro, like this is like one of those like young guys who, like, I remember just driving up and they were super cool in the match. Like, we just, like, they made a joke because unfortunately we went over our time, pulling back to Kurt a little. And like the promoter's like, you guys are just lucky you guys fucking tore it up, and like great chemistry. And these guys just, I mean, I know they're fan favorites now, but when they were assholes, man, they were great assholes.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I watched those shows. For Nashville, they are Nashville's not fans of them still.
I wouldn't either when they have us coming down.
So not much has changed. I saw a couple of their matches from this year down there. So yep, not much has changed. But yeah, it was good to see those boys. Yeah, get well. Grillo, we'll have you back soon enough. But yeah, I watched a couple of their tag matches, and of course watched our opponents Crow and Geo Steez. I think we're gonna have a good time down there. They seem to be excited for this match as well, so we're gonna beat the hell out of each other.
Oh yeah. Oh, now that you talked about other stuff, I forgot. I did watch like damn near every match we had against the Caribbeans from like December 2021 to all the way December 2022 in prep. I was like trying to watch, make sure I can find the movement. I
Yep.
want to make sure when we talk about our recap and when the 787 hit, we hit it right.
Yeah, had to make sure we were prepared. I also watched New Japan New Year's Dash, and got to see the team of the United Empire, Cobb and Great Okan versus Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega, the tag team we never thought we would see. Really good, hard-hitting match. Of course, as longtime opponents, they have great chemistry. We have our complaints about how refs are used, but that's just the style over there right now. But very good match, very good match. That V trigger spinning Rainmaker combo was dirty. That probably should have been the finish right there. But yeah, a very good week of wrestling watching this week. So I mean, Zach already kind of talked about it, but why don't we get into what we did this weekend? Go ahead, brother.
Me?
Yep.
All right, this weekend. Well, Friday, Doc and I were free, so we were doing those big show day prep. Let me bring up this because for those who weren't at Rise, I cut 13 inches off my hair.
Yep.
The luscious locks, they're luscious. They're just not long anymore.
Not at all.
But no, yeah, Friday, we actually purchased with us a big show, big setup. We got those rings set up, got the chairs. We did the pre-show prep for Rise. Got to see where the belts were going to hang from. So, like, just got to sit there. I know Doc and I, for a moment, were just like, look at each other. Like, I saw Doc's wheels turning, like, of all the pain he wanted to inflict. Because the following night was Brew City Wrestling, Rise to Honor 19 years of fandemonium, and your mama's favorites one last time against Caribbean Arrogance.
Because yes,
Brew
this
City
match will
Wrestling.
never happen again.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
it.
let's be
You
honest.
will never face each other again.
Yeah, never, ever again. But yeah, we finally got a TLC match at Rise to Honor. That was something I know, like, we all, like, Doc and I talked about it, and we're like, man, just a TLC is like something different. You know, they brought War Games, so we wanted to be able to at least match a cool War Games match, and we went to war with those guys.
Yes, sir. It was a good one. I was very happy with it. This had been 13 months in the making. We have been chasing these tag team titles for longer than that.
Since like 2019.
Yep. So this was something that was very, very important to us. And we had Frankie out on our side rocking that new shirt. Had Armando handcuffed, keeping him at bay for as long as those dirty, dirty cheaters could resist from triple teaming Frank.
We did have security out there for those who question. The floors were newly waxed, And when you get bodies like the heavyweight on top of a ladder, sometimes the ladders will tip and all that and scratch. So security was out there just for stabilizing the ladder purpose only.
Yep, that was the only reason we used them was hey, we need a strong base. We were some heavy people up there trying to do a lot of cool things in that match. But yeah, it was hard hitting back and forth. We hit the 787, they hit Air Buddies.
A total of like 3 doors broken during the match. At one point, Doc and I were on the up. Caribbeans tossed with belly to bellies. We both went through a door. I was hip tossed onto a ladder. Doc fell off the top of the ladder. I threw a chair onto Manny when he onto Chuko while he was reaching for the door. I mean, reaching for the belts. You know, a lot of shit. Frank got hit in the balls.
Frank got hit in the balls. He did.
I
That
mean,
was
it was good to
unfortunate.
know that they weren't just taking out on our balls. Like they were
Yeah,
taking out.
it's good to know they're equal opportunity ball hitters.
That's what like, makes me feel a little better. But
yeah, nobody's safe.
but like I told you, I've been watching the Caribbean's matches from 2021 all the way till 2022 December. And I realized they like to hit in the balls.
Yep. So we were
So I
ready
got a
for
ball. I arranged a ball hitter myself.
it. Yep. In the last moments, after they hit us with Air Buddies, Armando thought that was the time for him to showboat and be excited, and he was gonna have his rise to honor moment. But luckily we had an ace in the hole, and the lovely manager extraordinaire Val Malone coming to the rescue and giving Armando a falcon punch to the taint.
Bro, that punch, like she looked at him and just like it was like not even one of those like long sleeves. It was like
no,
a protector.
the picture Ashley posted, it just looked like a straight cross to the nut.
Bro, she wasn't playing around with
to the taint.
Bro, I'm just saying he does. It's finally nice to actually. I get why some of the people acquire her services against us. Because even though I got the fiance discount, that was an expensive rate for a taint punch.
Right. Hey, but most importantly, we came down with the gold.
Oh yeah, it ended up me and Chuko fighting on the top of the ladder. Able to knock Chuko off. He ended up taking out our security guards. But bro, when I took those belts down, I thought like, man, back when I was watching old school wrestling, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. When Razor knocked off Shawn onto the nuts, I was like, all right, time to hold the belts out like Razor.
Yep. Soak it all in, baby. Soak it all in.
Yes, sir. It'll be crazy. So if you think about it, next month, Brew City in February, it'll be our 4-year like kind of like anniversary since we started this damn thing. Like not like as country year, but like since the first time we tagged.
Yep.
And we're walking in like on that 4-year anniversary as the new Brew City Wrestling Tag Team Champions, baby.
Yep. It's like George Lucas said, it's like poetry, it rhymes. So hell yeah. All right. Perch, how was your weekend?
Yeah, had a great time over at Freelance Wrestling at Logan Square Auditorium. It was a packed house. Very fun time. But first Friday night, yeah, ended up helping out with the Elks Lodge. Got there, help out Merle and the whole crew. Help out Merle and the whole crew with getting the ring set up, and it was awesome to take in that setting. For real, the Elks Lodge with 2 rings inside of it. Was fun to see everyone, coming together to make that happen. So glad it was fun and you guys capitalized on the opportunities, because that was a great spot for Wisconsin and a great night for professional wrestling in Wisconsin. So cool to represent as we do for the community. So very, very cool. And yeah, Saturday, Freelance Wrestling in Chicago. Very fun time. I ended up having 3 matches overall. The opening scramble match, which was very fun. Wild, chaotic, Um, Lots of flying bodies. Connor Hopkins was in there.
Yep, I saw that. I
Bucky
did
was
see
in
that.
there. It was funny earlier in the night. Connor mentions like, and I don't know if there's something in the air, but he brought up Dave Prazak and said how he was such a big fan, and he didn't know if he was going to be there or not be there or something. Like he had no idea. And I said, man, I think he may be. He's an announcer or he's a on commentary. One thing led to another. Sure enough, Prazak was there on commentary, and he was just ecstatic. He lit up so bright. That was like a bucket list moment for him to have a match with Dave Prazak calling.
Calling it, hell yeah.
It was so cool because I feel that same kind of energy and same kind of emotion with people that we get to work with on any given night. Always be ready, and you never know what any given night's going to bring. And that's what I love about pro wrestling. It's so much fun. And then Craig Mitchell ended up winning with a package pile driver in that match. Next match I had was Kylie Ray against Rochelle Rose. And that was a 20-minute banger, just back and forth. Yeah, wild match. Very, very fun. And yeah, really entertaining. Lots of good, hard fighting storytelling. Like Kylie fighting from under. She had a worthy adversary in Rochelle Rose. So she ended up coming out victorious with a quick little pin out of nowhere. And yeah, crowd was into it. And then the main event that night was for the freelance championship. Robert Ego Anthony defending his title against Rock and Roll Ricky Morton. Awesome match, very fun. Ricky Morton is someone who I worked with back at MEPW at Bick's place at the time up in northern Wisconsin. He had a seminar back in the day, and Pitbull Zach McGuire took him on that night. and yeah, I remember just taking it all in. One of my first seminars. Really enjoyed it. So to fast forward, 4 or 5 years, to have a match with him in a main event at Logan Square Auditorium, it's a blessing. Very cool.
Same thing, like I said, in poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah, and it's I'm able to learn just as much on this day as I was back then 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Able to take it all in, an incredible experience for real. Great match. Ricky Morton hit his Canadian Destroyer out of nowhere. I didn't see it coming at all.
It's a good old running.
Yeah, awesome.
Take this shit.
Awesome match. I really enjoyed. But yeah, fun time. IWTV freelance wrestling. Any given Saturday freelance. Yeah, lots of cool pictures that came out from it too. So yeah, very, very fun time. Fun show.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good weekend held by the whole crew. But I think it's time we get into the topic for tonight. We kind of got off of our New Year look back last week with Rise to Honor on the horizon, but now let's get to it. I asked the fellas, what are your 3 favorite matches from the year? I will go first. In no particular order, but first I'm gonna go with the AW heavyweight championship match, the Texas street fight between or Texas death match between Hangman Adam Page and Lance Archer. I really, really enjoyed that one, and that finish is one of the best finishes I've seen in a long time. Just of how to use the ref, just normally to he's got to clear the ring out for safety reasons. There's no ropes. How's Hangman going to hit the buckshot? Do it off the ref. I mean, that's like a NBA street, NFL street type type maneuver right there, and I really enjoyed that. That match was really fun. Hangman, I think he had a very underrated run with the title. I was not a huge Hangman fan, but I really did enjoy his run with the title. Next one is going to be Walter versus Sheamus. I can't remember the name of the show, but from that England show or Scotland show that they had, that was just my style, hard hitting. We got to see Sheamus fight from under, which is something that we rarely get to see. This is when they were, I think this was the beginning of the change of bringing Gunther back to to the Emperor of the Mat. That's when I think they were really starting to edge towards bringing back Ring Conf, which I'm a big fan of that faction. It's very simple. It doesn't make sense that they're heels. They just want to wrestle very well, and I respect that. Last one for me is going to be way back at the New Year's show for Noah, and that's going to be Kaito Kiyomiya versus Ken O. With my boy Ken O coming up with the win. Professional professional foot stomps all over the place. And then we like like it's been the theme tonight with that poetry. It came back this year, and unfortunately, Kaito Kiyomiya won with a brutal Shining Wizard, which was an amazing thing to do on a goodbye show for the great Muda. But those would be my 3 matches for the year. Perch, what do you got?
Yeah, good list. Good list. You mentioned that Texas Death Match, and I thought, oh, is that the one where Paul Turner it bent down and he hit it off his back? That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, great question. 3 matches. Right when you said it, I thought back to what was Moxley's best matches in my mind. He had good one with Takeshita in there, Daniel Garcia, Dante Martin.
They have
but
a
one
very
that
good
really,
feud. Much better than I would have ever thought.
yeah, and he was able to bring out the best in everybody. But the one that really sticks out in my mind that I love was that Dynamite where it was hyped up, where he was taking on CM Punk. And that match started out hot, guns a-blazing.
Yep. Oh,
And
I totally
before you
forgot
knew
about
it,
that one. That was a good one.
Before you knew it, boom,
Yep.
CM Punk's down. Moxley capitalizes, hits the tether.
Yep. Like, I got no time for this.
my
I am not getting paid by the minute.
I still get pumped up with that one. Oh, loved it. The anticipation alone was so good going into it that when they made that match and it happened and it was just beautiful the way it all went. CM Punk got injured. Moxley hopped on top and just took him out.
Yep. Not
And
around.
and I have to mention I was there to see it live when CM Punk got his revenge, and that one didn't sit well. So that's not on the
that's not on the list at
list.
all. There are 3 least favorite matches of the year.
I was there the next week in Chicago. And that match is not anywhere near that top list. Yes, that's probably least favorite. The one guy in Chicago going, no.
Yep.
Like being a Packer fan in the midst of but yeah, that was probably my favorite one though. I love that. The build, the anticipation, it was great. And then the next one was Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia, Red Dragon, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Love it. My favorite kind of stipulation. It can go any which way. It can really allow a heel to be a heel and a baby face to fight from under. And by the end of it, both guys came out looking like $1 million. Just a intense. It was like a thrill ride, a real roller coaster where your stomach is up in your throat. Oh my God, is he really out? Is he not? He's and bringing it to that next level. Talk about gear changes. Seeing a guy like Daniel Garcia work up to the level of a world champion like Brian Danielson, that was just beautiful. I absolutely loved that kind of a match as it went on. So yeah, that was up there on the list. I put that right there as the second favorite of the year. And then third one, I got to watch live at a GCW show. They opened up the Evansville Coliseum, GCW Rock and Roll, July 3rd, I think, July 2nd, July 3rd,
I think it was July 3rd
in
because
Evansville,
4th
Indiana.
Was the backyard show, right?
Backyard was the 4th.
Yeah.
So we were in Evansville, Indiana, I believe the 3rd, maybe the 2nd. We had the day off in there, little St. Louis, then Evansville, back and forth. But yeah, that show to open up in Evansville Coliseum. It was, I was watching from the curtain, Kelvin Tankman against Jordan Oliver. Those two guys put on a clinic. The crowd was so engaged. I love to see how a crowd reacts. And that crowd was totally into the storytelling. And if your move is a brain buster, you're gonna, try to hook him and then work out of it. Now you hook him and you try to lift him and you work out.
Yeah.
And now you hook him, you lift him, you hoist him up, and he gets you down. It was such a good pro wrestling match. I really enjoyed. They used the size, the intensity, the fierceness that it takes for competitors to have for one another to not that you hate the other guy, but the competitive, greatness that has to come out to win a match. So yeah, that match really stuck out as one of my favorites from watching live behind the curtain. It may have been on next or the one after it, but I had plenty of time to watch that opening match and really enjoy it.
Hell yeah. Zachary.
Well, he stole one of mine, Doc.
Yep,
I figured I thought you went first because you knew I was gonna say Gunther and Sheamus.
I did.
Like that's probably like my match, but I won't go with that because it was stolen. But I'll go with no particular order. Brian Danielson versus Dax Hartwood. Right?
Yeah.
Dax Hartwood. I think it was like the first time. I think everyone knew Dax could go, but like just him, like really him and Brian, like going old school, like all the technical and like just him taking Brian to the limit was one of my like I just enjoyed that match a lot. I watched obviously I have a lot of tag matches. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaim.
Oh
The first
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
The first time. Bro, I remember just sitting in my like on the edge of my seat, and every time they hit something, I was like, that's three, and nonstop falsies and like on the edge of my seat. I mean, I know that the second one was really good too, don't get me wrong. But the second one, like I felt like, all right, now you have to put the belts on the Acclaim just
Yeah.
because of how big that first match was.
Yeah.
First one, I was convinced the Acclaim were winning. And when they lost, I was like, damn. But that one had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if this was 2022, but I watched the FTR match of Aussie Open. Was that this year?
I believe that was this year.
Yeah, so I watched that one. I just really enjoyed it. I love any good I love tag wrestling that like you got if like Aussie Open, like you can tell they're like, hey, we're gonna kind of get cheered here. Like
Yeah.
we're the heels, but people still like us here. And then like be able to work that with your crowd and know your crowd how they're gonna react and like figure out how like when it's time for FTR to start getting that sympathy, they know when to do it, but they know when the crowd's starting to like really like Aussie Open, like, all right, let's let them shine as well because they're like they're a popular group here.
Yeah, let them get their stuff in.
Yeah, it was just and it was like a 30-minute match. I remember watching that, and like after that, I think I was like right before Wrestle of the Caribbean's, like in December. Like I watched that match a few times to get ideas.
Yeah, we've stolen from them a couple times. Just
One,
a
two,
couple.
10 times.
Just one or two times.
10, who counts? Um, yeah, so and I think like honorable mention would be I would say the Kingdom versus Top Flight at Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Mhm.
Like I know that the dog collar match and all that, but I would say for me personally, I like that match a lot. Just because like I thought that match was like a potential show stealer, like just the chemistry that the Kingdom and Darius and Dante have. And Darius and Dante, like I'm pretty sure we're all biased when you see a homie out there succeeding who's always been good to you. You're like, oh hell yeah, and you get to see him wrestle guys you've wanted to wrestle, guys like I remember being new and like walking in at Ring of Honor and helping the Kingdom with their entrance and stuff in that nature. Now you're watching your boys wrestle them and pull off the surprise win.
Yeah. No, that was good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Starting to wind down a little bit. Why don't we talk about what we got coming up this week? Me and Zach are together, but Perch, what do you got coming up this weekend?
Yeah, this Friday, Mondo Lucha comes to town. I'll be in Milwaukee, hometown. Always a blast coming into Milwaukee, performing, especially with Mondo Lucha. This should be a really good time. The infamous long promo took place at this joint.
Yep.
the,
The
the
greatest
sequel,
promo, you mean?
the sequel wasn't as good as the original. Oh man, I love it. With shout out to Jim Hollywood taking one for the team that night.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a blast. I think that's about 6 o'clock at the COUPE in
Yeah, I
Milwaukee.
just noticed that today that is a 6 o'clock show.
Yeah, so that'll be
Not
a fun
upset, but
time. Yep, that'll be a blast. Haven't been there for too long. The following night, out in South Bend, Indiana, for Warrior Wrestling. That's going to be a really fun time. Lots of wild action on the card. That'll be on Pro Wrestling TV, I believe. You can watch it. Yeah, going to be a really fun time out in Indiana. The venue there is very cool. Really looking forward to going. I've been there a couple times, but feels like it's been forever. And then Sunday, back to Chicago for Gali Lucha Libre. Gonna be a fun time, rounding out the weekend with some lucha action. So a little Milwaukee, Indiana, and Chicago, 3 states in a fun Midwest weekend.
nice. And then Zach, we are also at Mondo Lucha on Friday.
Yes, sir. I am not booked, but showing up to do outlaw things and support the homie and as he tags with our hidden member, Jared Jax, Team Turbo. You guys had some fuckery happen with your belts, right?
Yep, we had some fuckery happen with our belts. Unfortunately, I believe possession is 9/10 of the law, but Friday we'll be looking to get our titles back.
I mean, of course, if Jared Jax slips in the parking lot,
Then it'll be a country air challenge. But yep, as of right now, it's me and Jax up against it should be Red Goldstein and Xavier Mustafa versus the Bad Steeds. I don't know if they have individual names yet.
I like the bad things.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the Bad Steeds, but I don't know if they have like first names or what is bad and the other is Steen or yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, and then yeah, so Mondo Lucha Friday, Cooperage, that's where the infamous promo is. That's where Doc I think made his debut for Mondo.
Yep.
So it'll be a good time. After that, we're gonna hop in the cars, going down to Mattoon, Illinois for 0-1. We're taking on DC Black.
Yep. Devontae Knox and Chris O'Brien. I believe we have touched once in maybe a 4-way tag. I'm
I think it
hoping
was a 4-way, and unfortunately, like we didn't get pinned, but we didn't win the match. But DC Black did.
Yes, they did. So this is the get back. Our run in 0-1 over the past couple months has been rough. Not exactly the way that tag team champions would like to present themselves, but we have put in work. And so it'll be good to get back to a regular old tag match to show the excellence of tag team wrestling.
Yes, sir. We just started up the belt collection. As we said, we won the Brew City belts last Saturday. I don't really want to win a belt, lose a belt type deal. I want to make Doc's belt bag as heavy as Doc Simmons.
Please don't. That'll hurt my wrist. But yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good show. Card looks freaking awesome. Gonna have some homies there. Can't wait.
Then Sunday, I don't know. Maybe we might pop somewhere, maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see how the bodies feel.
Yes. See how the bodies feel after this weekend. Should be a hard hitting one. And with that, what's up?
I was just saying, I was just agreeing.
Oh, yep. All right. And with that, I think it's about time we take it home. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
How you feeling about your Giants?
Ooh, made it out of the first round of the playoffs, beat those Vikings. We got Philly next. That was a good game to show that our offense can score, but our defense definitely needs to play better against Philly this upcoming weekend.
You watched this Cowboy game?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, don't like that. Don't like that at all. But whatever, they can they have their own problems to deal with. Hopefully we make it out of Philly. And then we'll deal with either San Fran or the Cowboys. Like I said, I did not expect this much from this team this year. Thought it was very realistic that we could have gone 0-17, but it looks like Danny Dimes wants to get paid. So he's been playing out of his mind this year. Had an awesome game Sunday. I hope he keeps it going.
Bro, I was gonna say, like, I don't know. I saw a meme that made me laugh. Like, kind of was real. Like, I don't know if our country could take as much damage if it becomes a Bills and Philly Super Bowl. So, like, your Giants should put a stop to that.
Yep. I would very much enjoy that. I would enjoy seeing the Bills and crushing their Super Bowl dreams again. That would be also poetic.
That's the only thing I am actually kind of rooting for, the Bills, just because of Jack. So that's the team I'm going for this year.
Okay.
So sorry, Giants are second. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's fine. Nobody cares about us. Like, we're not supposed to be here.
I'm still loving all the memes about Kirk Cousin. You're 4th and 8, and you threw a 3-yard pass.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Yeah, and not getting the ball to Justin Jefferson enough. But hey, worked out in my favor.
I was like, you're probably loving that.
Yep. Keep doing that, Kirk. Perch. Any final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, I never rooted for the Giants before in my life, but I was a big time Saquon Barkley, Danny Dimes fan all weekend long.
Yeah, Saquon went off too. So.
I enjoyed watching those guys play football, and I wish them the best of luck, but they got the job done in my eyes. Yeah. So it's all I needed to see him do, and really enjoyed every second of it. Great mood. His final match is coming up. Teaming up with Sting and Darby Allin. Yeah, it should be a good time.
Looking forward to that, and looking forward to night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom in next week. It's weird that they spread it out so far, but yeah, that should be fun. And for me, yeah, go G-Men. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to follow us on all the social medias. Tell companies to book us. We really like to wrestle and referee. Calendars are filling up. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1